What's up, E-World? So, I've been hearing all kinds of stories about when people bike break down, it's hard trying to find an e-bike shop for one, or regular bike shops that work on e-bikes. And sometimes you might have to send it back to the factory, and they'll hold your bike for 3 to 6 months or whatever. You don't want to be missing your bike any amount of time. So, this video is about what type of extra parts and accessories you should have on hand at all times so you can DIY repair your bike yourself, or at least have the part. Maybe somebody else can do it for you if you're not that guy. So, let's take a look at some of this stuff. Okay. First of all, one of these. This is an e-bike tester. You can test motors, controllers, brake inhibitors, hall sensors, just about everything with this thing. And you can get one off of Amazon. They're fairly cheap. They don't cost much of nothing. I think like 20, 25 bucks. One of these, if you're running, over the amount of power you should be running, you have to check and make sure your hub motor is not overheating, or your controller. So it's always good to have one of these temperature guns. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about spare parts. Everybody should have whatever type of throttle you have. If you have a twist throttle, you should have a extra twist throttle. If you have a thumb throttle, you should have an extra thumb throttle. Throttles will leave you stranded, or definitely have your bike shut down for long periods of time. It's not something you really need, but it's good to have a step-down converter to step your high voltage e-bike system down to 12 volts, so you can run regular 12 volt headlights, stuff that you would normally run in a car, plug in chargers, USB ports and all that kind of stuff. You need to run that off of 12 volts. An extra display, even if it's a basic one like this. It's a basic display. You should have some type of display so you can get your bike back up and running. Like I said, this is a basic one. If you got fancy digital LED color one or black and white one, have one of those on hand. Okay, hall sensors and hall sensor cables. A lot of times it's not the hall sensors that go out, it's just a bad cable. So having a spare one of those comes in handy. Extra pass sensor for your pedal assist. If you're a pedal assist guy, you like having your pedal assist, it's good to have an extra one of those. They hardly go up, especially the magnet part, but these little sensors, they go up all the time, or the wire breaks. Just an extra set of grips, whatever. Some type of brake light or flashing light to go in the back. Just a backup one. Those things break all the time, get wet, even though they're supposed to be waterproof. Extra alarm siren. If you have an alarm on your bike, have an extra siren. They die occasionally. Extra turn signals. If you have a remote turn signal, have a backup one. Potentiometer. This is 0 to 100K. Comes in handy for all kinds of stuff. If you need to change the resistance on it, you just run something in parallel or in series with it, another fixed resistor, and you're good. If you use planetary geared motor, you should have an extra set of gears. I have an extra set of gears, although these are steel. I figure if my nylon gears ever went up, I'm going to replace them with steel. Although I'm not using a planetary drive at this time, I'm using direct drive. but I still have one of those geared motors as a backup. So it's good to have one of those. Um, just some spare grip tape, basic black. If you ride scooters or skateboards, you should definitely have one of these or two of them. Extra rotors. You know, these things get bent all the time. They'll drive you crazy, making noise, one that isn't true. It'll just be rubbing, and oh, that drives me crazy. And if you have rotors, you should definitely have brakes. I think I'm down to my last two sets of brake pads. I mean, if you have a high-speed bike or just a regular e-bike, these brake pads, you know, they're pretty thin. They don't last long at all. I mean, 100 miles, if that. I have to change mine out. Especially, like I said, if you're going fast. Let's see, what else? Oh, extra brake levers, especially with the motor inhibitors. A bad motor inhibitor will cause you all kinds of problems. You'll be wondering why you can't get any throttle. Easiest thing to do is just to unplug them, just to see if that's the cause. You unplug it and your throttle starts working. You know you got a bad brake inhibitor, motor inhibitor, whatever you want to call them. Have those. Most importantly, extra controller. It might not be the same as the one you have on your bike, but some type of controller. This is an aftermarket controller. You can put this on any bike. This can be hardwired to any bike. It might not be plug and play for your factory system, but this can get you back up and running. And I have a couple of those. That one's like a 30 amp one. This is a 35 amp one. Yeah. If you have a dual motor setup, you'll want to have a extra dual controller setup. This is for a scooter, most likely, but there are bikes that run dual motor setups. So here's a dual controller setup. This isn't a high current one, but this will get you going. I think it's at least 15, 20 amps, maybe more than that. Let's see. It doesn't state it, but it isn't high, but yeah. Have an extra set of those. Extra foot pegs, extra frame sliders. This so you can wrap up your wires, or just a bag of zip ties, black tape, whatever you use. Grip tape eraser. They come in handy and they do work. As you can see, this one is quite used. I use it all the time because I hate for my grip. You know, I like my bike to look clean, or my skateboard, scooter, whatever. I hate for it to look all dirty, so I clean mine all the time. Basically, that's it as far as spare parts, the main parts. Oh, backup motor. If you are able to buy a backup motor, have a backup motor. I have one, and like I said, mine is my original geared drive motor. I now run a direct drive, but have an extra motor. Motors aren't really expensive either, but they'll put you out the game, that's for sure. Extra cells, extra 18650s. You know, if you know how to work on your battery, you can replace those. This is something that's not mandatory to have, but I have one. If you happen to buy a used Bird scooter, one that you know, they rent it, that you have to have a credit card for, this is one that you can make it back into a personal one. So yes, you can take one of those Bird scooters, remove that little credit card display, put this on there, and it'll be back to normal as a regular Bird scooter. Everybody should have some type of basic tools. I'm like Tim the Tool Man Taylor. In the garage, I have all types of tools, ratchet sets, everything. I do electrical, so those are some electrical tools. You should definitely have a logic probe or some type of 12 volt or up to 100 volt tester, so you can trace down, shorts and test to see if you're getting a signal here, there, anywhere, or a multimeter. A glue gun. Glue gun, is so many things you can do with a glue gun. I mean, I use glue guns all the time, stick things and repair things. So glue guns, one of these little tools are handy to have on your bike. They have all the basic sizes on there for most stuff. Security bit set, because a lot of e-bike manufacturers, instead of the regular Torx bits, they use the little ones with the element in the middle. So security safety bits have the little holes in the middle like that. It has a little hole in the middle. That's the only way you can remove those, if you have a security bit set. And standard bits, drill bits. I'm not going to show you all this stuff, but I have a lot of stuff. I was trying to go over the main stuff. Endoscope. A lot of times, this will save you from having to take something apart. It's basically a camera with a long cord that you can stick up in tight places and see what's going on. Okay. Everybody should have one of these, a little Dremel. Man, it's so much you can do with a Dremel. I mean, this is a must-have for me. I mean, I constantly have to make stuff fit, open up holes, make them bigger, larger, sand stuff down, clean, polish stuff, whatever. Dremels, you can do a lot with Dremels. If you're a vlogger, of course, you're going to have all types of little mini cams, harnesses, head harness, chest harness, clip-on harnesses, window harnesses, little mini tripods, all types of USB adapters, power adapters, cords. Let's see. Of course, you're going to have camera equipment if you're a vlogger or whatever. So you're going to have regular cameras. You're going to have phone cameras. You're going to have, that's a Phantom 4 in there. I still have a little DJI Spark. I haven't updated my drones yet, but they still do what they do. So really no need. I would like to have one of them Skydio ones that has the AI that follow you automatically, but I don't have one of those yet. Let's see what else. Oh, must have for me is a fast charger. Now, this isn't one of those satiators, one of those $350 fast chargers. This is one that I actually it's a power supply. It's a variable power supply from 0 to 100 volts. Has a little voltmeter right there. Has a knob on the front. You can dial the voltage into whatever you want. You can dial the current. This one goes up to 8 amps, so you can, dial anything in from 0 to 8 amps and from 0 to 100 volts. And guess what? I paid $35 for this thing on Amazon. Yes, you can use this if you have a BMS in your battery system. That's all you need. That's going to shut it down that's going to stop, your batteries from getting charged when they reach the cutoff point anyway. So you don't need a $350 charger. That may come in handy if you're running batteries systems without BMSs. Some people do. It ain't always necessary. A lot of people do. If you're running aftermarket speed bike and you don't want any current limiting factors on there, BMSs shut bikes down at 50 amps, 100 amps, whatever it's set for. So a lot of guys don't like to use BMSs. They want it wide open. They running 400 amp controllers and all that. You don't want a BMS. Let me see. What else? I just got a whole bunch of miscellaneous chargers and plugs and cables and everything, but I've gone over all the main important stuff. That's pretty much it. All right, that's the end of this video. I just wanted you to know some basic supplies that you should have on hand in case your bike breaks down. You can fix it, repair it yourself, or at least take it to a guy that knows how to repair them, and you have your own part ready to go, and you're not waiting 30 days or 2 months from it for anything to come from China. You're always prepared. So I buy a lot of these things when I catch them on sale for the low because I don't like spending a lot of money. Anyway, that's it, guys. Deuces.